Just as we have entered Youth Month, the year is far ahead and the spotlight is now on young people. On Motivation Monday tonight, I'm joined by author and coach Ebenezer Mamabulo to talk about Youth of Impact. You're more than welcome to join in the conversation. Our WhatsApp line is 079 295 1212. And you can also give us a call on 015 151 0135. Ebenezer, good evening and welcome.
Good evening and thank you for having me.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm well and happy Youth Month.
Happy Youth Month to you too.
How are you feeling about this month?
I'm very excited about this month.
Why?
Because, we as the youth, I would say, are the backbone of the transformation of the country. So where you see youth are active, you'll find that there are things are moving. That's why I'm very excited about this month.
Okay. We're talking Youth of Impact. And I was thinking just as I was getting ready for this show to say what kind of a group or what kind of breed is that and just how distinct is it from any other generation?
I would say that Youth of Impact, it would be a group of young people who are passionate about changing something that they find that it's not well in the nation, whether it could be the families or whether it could be even the nation as a whole. And I was brought back to the youth of 1976. They saw a system that was not just, a system that oppressed them or a system that never wanted them to reach their full potential. And they took it amongst themselves that, we are not going to sit and complain, but we are going to change our society or we are going to change our nation and we are going to do something about it. So Youth of Impact, it's a group of people or young people who are passionate about something or they see a lack or a need in society and they go and fulfill that need in the society.
Fulfilling a need, when you look at present day youth, what need are they fulfilling?
It depends which groups we are looking at. Because there are some who are just seeing a need, or rather they don't see a need, but they would just lazy about, complain about what's happening in the nation, complain about the lack of jobs and all those things. But you've got another group who are saying that, I don't like what's happening, I'm going to initiate. I don't like the direction that the country is taking, so I am going to make sure that I get politically activated. So we can have a group that's active and a group that's not active.
What's the danger of inactivity as a young person?
I would say that the biggest danger of inactivity would be that you get to live or to experience a future that other people have dreamed of, not the one that you dream of or the one that you desire to live in. Because you see, like let's say for example, when there comes a time for you and I to voice out our opinions, maybe via elections, you find that if you don't vote, by default, those who have participated, you are going to have a future based on the decisions that they made, and that would be a decision that you did not participate in.
All right. Now, how should young people embark on a quest to unleashing their potential? Where do they start?
The first place we need to start is being aware of ourselves or self-awareness. Because if I don't know myself or I don't have an idea of who is Ebenezer and what is he all about, I will not be able to know others or what would be the future that I dream or desire to have. If I don't have that self-awareness, I'm not going to have the characteristics, or I'm not even going to notice things that are not well in the country. Let's say, for example, now, if I see that there's a lack of leadership in the community, if I myself am not leading myself well, I would not have a picture of what would be leadership or what would be the right leadership that I need in my community to advance my community or to advance the country. But when I start with myself, when I start seeing that, Ebenezer, you are lazy when it comes to this and that, improve on this area, or you like this and that, but you are not initiating in this, get someone who will help you. That's where you will be able to know that, these are the things or the types of changes that we need in the country.
In an age where everything is somewhat done on cell phones and tablets and computers and there's quite less human interaction, unless if one is somewhat forced to, but a lot can be done just by pressing certain buttons to get things happening, right?
Yes.
And you talk about the importance of one seeking knowledge and learning from others. How does one do that in this age?
In this age, it's very, very easy to get knowledge because you can go online, go into national libraries, or even go to, if you're using the popular search engine, you can just go to Google Scholar, where you'll find articles and everything that you would want to learn. Or you can even go to universities. Universities offer free online courses. You can even take courses there, whether it's in the United States, wherever you want to go. You can just find even online courses, then you go and learn, or the popular one, YouTube, and you just go there. Whatever it is that you want to learn, you'll find that there's someone who has created a video and you will learn from that person. So it's very easy to learn, but we need to be careful that when we are learning. I was reminded a few weeks back when I went, when my driver's license expired. I went in, and the first thing that we are required is to go for an eye test. And I was surprised that I thought that my vision was perfect, because a few years ago I had gone for an eye test and my vision was so perfect and there was nothing that I couldn't see. But this time around I couldn't even see, and it turned out that my eyesight dropped by 20%. It's only because of the fact that I've been spending so much time on the technology, on my phone or even on my PC. You'll find that the lights, the blue light, the light, it ended up causing damage to my eyes, and I ended up losing 20% of my eyesight. So it's also very dangerous that whenever we are using this technology to advance ourselves, let's also have caution or care, so that we will know that this time it seems like I'm spending too much on this technology. Let me reduce so that I will be safe.
In terms of the balance that you talk about regarding one's usage of technology because of the physical implications that could come out of it, then there's also the question of education, which you spoke about, to say that it's quite easy for one to attain education just from the comfort of their home or wherever they could be using several devices. Now, in terms of the difference between formal education and one just reading about everything that's happening in and around the world that they live in, how does one strike a balance there?
I think we should make sure that when we are, if let's say for example, there are necessary skills that you need to get in a formal education setting. You would learn how to calculate, you would learn how to speak or how to write. Those are the basic things that you need. So you need to make sure that type of education you don't miss in your life. And you can either go maybe the traditional route of going to school or primary, or you can have, if maybe you want to have homeschooling, you can also take the route of homeschooling. And also make sure that in your education, have some personal development on the side. Learn some other skills that are not taught at school. Learn how to communicate with others. Learn how to build relationships. Learn how to start your own business if you are not studying entrepreneurship. Learn those other things, and make sure that in whatever it is that you are learning or whatever career or stream that you are pursuing, make sure that you find balance, and make sure that don't let your certification interfere with your life's education.
A question on WhatsApp. I see very much need in my area, the Hali area, but how can I find the right people to feature in this quest, and how will I see them? Collaboration.
I would say it depends on the need. But the first thing you should do, don't just wait and say that I am waiting for someone to give us funding so that we will transform our community. Don't wait and say that we are waiting, or we've applied to the government for funding so that we would meet this particular need or that need. You as a young person, initiate that transformation you want to see in your community. Make sure that whatever you have or the resources that you have, you can just go to the community hall if you've got the community hall and say that we would like to have a gathering of youth, so that maybe on the weekend, maybe once in a while, we would have a time to discuss, then share resources so that we will build a community. If you don't have that community hall, you might even go to one of the schools. Talk to the leadership of that school or the principal and say, we would like a classroom over the weekend so that we could come as the youth of this community. We would sit, we would share ideas. You might find that the needs that you are saying that you are waiting for someone to initiate for you, you might find that your friends or your fellow youth have got those things, or they've got that connection. So make sure that you engage the youth and don't just sit down with those initiatives that you have. Make sure that you act on them.
On Motivation Monday tonight, Ebenezer Mamabolo is talking about youth of impact. You're more than welcome to join in the motivation. Our WhatsApp line is 079-295-1212. You can also give us a call on 015-151-0135. You spoke about the importance of innovation in the form of entrepreneurship. And some people are saying that in the wake of the low rates of employment possibilities, it's the route everyone is taking. Is that a good thing or is it a bad thing?
That would depend, because what I usually say is that even though you might not want to be a business owner or an entrepreneur, make sure that you catch the spirit or the mindset or the attitude of an entrepreneur, because there's a difference between a true entrepreneur or someone who is a full-time entrepreneur and someone who learns the mindset of an entrepreneur. In this day and age that we are in, even though you might not have the necessary skills or you might not want to see yourself as an entrepreneur, you need to think like an entrepreneur. I would say, maybe for example, an entrepreneur is someone who sees a need in the community, and in the form of business, they want to fulfill that need. You might not want to fulfill that need as a business owner, but you seeing that need, you might say that, you know what, let me gather youth, let me, in the form of a non-profit organization, let me try to fulfill this need. In other words, don't only just, even if you are not, because I would say that there are people who are built to be entrepreneurs and there are people who want to be entrepreneurs. The difference there, it's just simply the work that one is willing to put. I can't say, because I remember when I studied neuroscience, they said that all of the human race, all of our genes are equal. But the difference, what makes one extraordinary in a particular field, is how often that they spend so much time sharpening a particular gift. You find that someone who we are regarding as intelligent, maybe with regards to mathematics, they have spent a large amount of time practicing mathematics. It's not that they were born with a gene that excels in mathematics, but they put in the work that was needed for them to excel in mathematics. So whether you want to be an entrepreneur or not, just make sure that in this day and age that we are in, don't just wait and say that I'm waiting for opportunities or I'm waiting for someone to help me. Initiate the change that you want to see, and make sure that you catch that mindset or that spirit of entrepreneurship.
A lot of young people have foundations in present day. They are doing a whole lot of social uplifting projects. Mm-hmm. But whenever you engage with them, half the time they always cite the challenge of not having funding to execute some of the desires they would like to see in their several communities and so forth. Mm-hmm. And then you have some coaches, your colleagues, who say that it would seem as though this new wave of young people who aspire to be entrepreneurs that we have are obsessed with funding. Mm-hmm. Your take?
I would say that what I usually say, or what I recently discovered, the reason you do not have the funds for you to initiate that particular movement that you want to initiate, I would say from my side, I saw that the common factor was laziness. We as the youth, I know that I am unemployed. I know that I don't have the financial resources for me to initiate maybe a transformation movement. Now, instead of me going to look for a job so that I will have the funds that I need, I would sit and say, I'm not going to go and work for someone else. I want to be independent. And whereas you find that research shows that there's a 28x effect. Someone who has gone for work and have learned the skills that are needed working for someone else, they've got a 28%, they've got a 28 times effect of succeeding in whatever venture that they are pursuing. So I would say that the first thing for you, before you go and look for funding, check if there's nothing you can do on your own. There are so many network marketing opportunities out there that you can go or venture in, and you find that you are getting income from it. And this is what I call the trap of purpose. One of the things that I discovered about purpose, most people, after they've discovered their purpose, they would sit down and say that, I am imagining that maybe some divine intervention would happen and suddenly everything, I've got it. No, but what I've realized is that there's no sense of priorities. We've got people who are saying that my purpose is to make sure that I transform my community, but they are missing the immediate needs. The immediate needs would be that, yes, I might want to transform the community as a teacher, but before that's just a destination that I would reach maybe 20, 30 or 40 years from now on. Today, just because I discovered that I'm going to be a teacher that will transform my community, that won't happen now. It's something that happens over time. But your immediate needs, the finances, the money that you need to make sure that you are living, the money that you need to make sure that your family is living, the money that you need to make sure that you are meeting your basic needs, you need to go and find a way to generate that income as you are busy pursuing your purpose. You can go and work for someone else, and that person would compensate you or reward you with a salary that would help you to fund that purpose or that dream you have. So if you are lazy and you are saying that I'm waiting for funding, there are requirements that investors are looking for, and you might find that you don't meet those requirements. So when you don't meet those requirements, or you don't have that experience, that's where you going to work, or you having your own source of funding helps in your venture.
We're talking Youth of Impact on Motivation Monday tonight with Ebenezer Mamavulo. What are your thoughts? Talk to us. Our WhatsApp line is 079 295 1212. And you can also give us a call, 015 151 0135. We'll continue the motivation after the break.
Conversations, Mondays to Thursdays from 6 to 8 p.m.
10 minutes to 8. This is Conversations on Energy FM 102.1 and Choice FM 101.1. And on Motivation Monday tonight, my guest is Ebenezer Mamavulo, who is an author and a coach, and we're talking about Youth of Impact. You are more than welcome to join in the motivation. Our WhatsApp line is 079 295 1212. You can also give us a call on 015 151 0135. Ebenezer, as a fellow young person, what would you say is the one biggest challenge that young people of South Africa are facing? And whilst we're at it, what's the one thing that through collaboration they could be able to solve it?
I would say that the biggest challenge that I see amongst us youth, it's unity. Because in most of the things or the problems that we've got, if we as the youth, we would unite, the issue of unemployment, it's not affecting one young person. It's affecting us as a whole, as the youth. Now, if we could unite, and let me give an example about the free trade agreement that happened recently. The AU, the African Union, they as the countries, they came together and said that we would like to have a free trade Africa. Now, when that got initiated or when that got approved, it's now easy or it's accessible that we as the youth can create employment. The goods that I could take here and sell in other countries in Africa, that would cost a lot of money tomorrow. Now you find that they would be cheaper because now we will no longer be having tariffs. Now we as the youth, we need to unite and say that what is it that we can do as the youth to ensure that we are not faced with this challenge of unemployment. Now what we could do is that what skills do you have? What skills does Rebecca have? What skills does Ebenezer have? Now let's take these skill sets together. Let's try to come up with a business that would help us to make sure that whatever it is that you went to school for or that you learned or you've got the experience in, I also bring whatever I have, then together we unite, we start a business. Or if there is an injustice that we see happening in the community, let us unite. I would say that the biggest issue that we are facing as the youth, we are not united towards a particular or one particular purpose. We are not united towards eradicating unemployment. We are not united regarding eradicating those who unemployment or the lack of education. But if we could unite as the youth, the very same way that the youth of 1976 united to say that this is something that we don't like, or that this is something that we don't like or appreciate in our country, let us unite and let's fight for this cause and make sure that we liberate or we get enough information, quality education for us all. That's the same way that we today, we need to unite.
All right. A comment on WhatsApp. Hi, Rebecca and Mr. Mamavulo. I fully agree with Mr. Mamavulo. It's time for the youth to wake up and make things happen for ourselves in our communities. This is coming from Jeffrey Parks at Men's. All right. What would you say about the mentality of our youth in the country, and how can we avoid the black crab syndrome? This is from Makula TFM, who is at ULMBH.
I would say that the issue of the black crab syndrome, I would assume that, as crabs do, if you could take a couple of crabs and you put them in a bucket, you don't even need to put a lid over that bucket, because whenever one crab would be trying to climb out of that bucket, the other one would try to pull it down. Now, the very same way when it comes to us, the issue is that I would say let's just appreciate that you are not an individual. or you as a young person, you are not an individual. When someone else is succeeding in your community or is succeeding in your family, it's not only him who is succeeding, it's us as a nation, because when they are succeeding, they won't say that, there's Ebenezer who's shining. They would say that the people of Limpopo or Limpopo is shining. So let's appreciate that even though someone might be achieving alone, support that particular person, so that when you are supporting that particular person, they've got the support of the whole community. We are supporting that person as a nation. You'll find that now they won't even see themselves as an individual. You'll even hear them when they get opportunities, because they know that they've got the support that they have, or the support they need from their fellow youth. They would even say, when they've got opportunities, they would reach out and say, hey, my fellow brothers and sisters, these are opportunities that I'm experiencing. So let us make sure that for us to eradicate that, let's make sure that we are united, and let's support each other, and make sure that whenever you've got opportunities, make sure that when you are experiencing the transformation of your own mind.
Keep that thought, Ebenezer. We have a caller on the line. Good evening and welcome to Conversations. Good evening. Okay, do continue.
Yes, make sure that wherever you are, or in whatever corner that you are at, after you have transformed your own mind, or you've transformed yourself in a particular way, make sure that you also reach out for the community. Because what happens is that if you are going to achieve the success that you want to achieve alone, eventually you would have to build bigger and bigger walls to protect whatever success you've got. But when we are united, or when we are achieving the success together, and we are lifting each other up, I won't have to worry about the success that I'm achieving or protecting it, because I know that we are united as a community. We are supporting each other. I know that when I'm gone at home, when I'm not at home, you as my fellow brother, you will be protecting my home. So let's make sure that wherever you are, whatever success you are achieving, help your fellow brothers out, help your fellow brothers, your fellow sisters out, and reach out to them and give them opportunity, so that we as a whole, or the youth as a whole, let's not only one man rise, but let us all rise and lift each other.
All right. Not too long ago, but somewhat mid the previous year, on Motivation Monday, we spoke about the idea that seems to be rotating in society, wherein young people of present day are called the microwave generation, the people who would like for things to happen quicker than it happened back in the day, perhaps because of the advance that comes with technology and so forth. But talk to us also about the importance of persistence as young people try to work towards being youth of impact.
As much as we might want things to go the same way as when after you've posted a status, someone will be liking and commenting and all instantly gratifying you. That's not the way life is. Life takes time, and there are challenges throughout life that we would experience. There are moments of failure. There are moments of pain and suffering. And what you need to have is that you need to have an appreciation of the fact that however short you think that your dreams would be accomplished as fast as you might wish them, they will take longer than you think. They would cost more than you think they would cost. There are some things that happen instantly. There might be a moment where someone just achieves success, maybe instantly, because they posted a video and they went viral. But that's not how everyone else is going to be like. We need to have an appreciation of patience. You can't achieve everything immediately. I always say that the longest route to success is through a shortcut. Because when you are taking a shortcut, you'll find that you are missing the process that you need to build you and your character. Now, when you miss that process, you'll find that tomorrow when you'll be needing those skills that you should have had learned in the process that you should have had been learning in the process of your preparation. So make sure that as much as you might be seeing your fellow brothers and sisters achieving their success or achieving what you think success is, be patient. Your time would come. It doesn't matter if it comes today or tomorrow, a year after, or a couple of years after. Whatever happens, your success will come and at the right time. So make sure that you are patient. Be patient with yourself and be patient with whatever the dream that you are pursuing.
Tato and Muleji says, hi family, unfortunately most of us are rejected from the very communities we hope to develop. Tap into that.
As much as you might be rejected today, if you keep on pursuing your dreams, if you stay strong and hold on to that purpose you have, tomorrow they will celebrate you. The very same people who are rejecting you today, they will be the ones who are saying that, that is my homeboy tomorrow. So make sure that whatever you do, don't give up on your dreams, because you are an inspiration to that particular community. As much as they might not be supporting you, as much as they might be criticizing you, tomorrow they are the ones who will be telling the world that, that is my homeboy. So whatever you do, or no matter how they are not supporting you, stay strong and knowing that there is someone or there's another person or a young person who's got the same struggle as you and they support you in your struggle.
Maria from Teflop says, Shine, Mr. Mamabolo. Shine, you are truly a great coach. Today I am motivated to achieve my dreams. Great show tonight. All right, let's talk about populism in terms of the kind of routes that some people could be venturing into, wherein you find now that young people are also following into those footsteps, not necessarily because they're inspired, but because it seems as the cool thing to do at that particular time, versus taking a route that's not so popular, knowing fully well where you would like to get to?
I would say that whatever happens or whatever trend is trending, make sure that you remain grounded. Have a dream that you are aspiring to achieve, or have a vision for your life that you are aspiring to achieve. Now, whatever happens, as long as you know that this is trending, but when I look at my dream and where I want to be tomorrow, it's not in line with what I want to achieve or who I want to become, stay away from that group of people or stay away from that trend. Make sure that whatever it is that's trending, let it be something that's trending, that's in line with the dreams that you have. And if it's not in line, just associate yourself with the people or the right people who would be encouraging you on whatever venture that you would be venturing, because even though some things are popular or they are accepted or are celebrated, they might not necessarily be good for you. And when they are not good for you, you might find that if you engage in those things that are not good for you, tomorrow you will be the one who's paying the price and your friends would not be paying the price. So make sure that whatever happens or whatever is popular, make sure if you are following that trend, let it be a trend that's adding value to you and your future. And if it's not, don't engage or don't trend with that trend.
We've run out of time. How can our listeners get in touch with you?
You can get in touch with me on all of the social medias. Just search for Ebenezer Mamabolo and you'll find me there. And if maybe you want to send me, you want to book me as a coach or as a speaker for your next event, you can call me at 071 639 7807.
Thank you so much, Ebenezer. Coming up next on Energy FM is Karabo Matosa, and on Choice FM is Stanley Brown. And a big thank you goes to my producer, Mami Morashwa. Thank you so much for all the interactions. We meet again tomorrow evening, same time, same place, with more conversations. God willing, good night.